Well, it appears as though today is one of them days, just one of them days, that 100% Wolf Street articles. There's some good stuff on Zero Hedge, but I don't want to flood you. Joe, I got things to do. I don't have time to listen to you yap. But thanks for keeping me up to date, but damn. 5, 6 videos? Not happening. 3 videos, I'm out. Here it is. Final video. How U.S. debt slaves, that's, in case you didn't know, it's you and me, get trapped by deferred interest. But over the next 2 months, they'll try to prop up U.S. retailers and the entire global economy. Credit cards play a huge role in what the U.S. retail industry hopes will be a $682 billion splurge by Americans over the holiday selling season. And by the way, I'm just going to let you know as we enter December, and I may mention this 1 or 2 or more times, probably once we get into December. I really noticed this last year as a YouTuber that gets income from the ads that play on this, the channel, my channel. 55% for the YouTuber, 45% for YouTube. Not complaining, it's working. The whole ad apocalypse thing earlier this year, it affected me badly in the beginning. I had a sneaky suspicion it would come back. Again, I'm not talking about really highly controversial topics these days anymore too. Whatever, my stuff's looking good. I'm happy with how it's rolling on YouTube. But what I noticed, and then I looked at the last year, but I hardly made any money the previous year on YouTube, meaning 2015. And the way it works is whatever month you're in, so this month of November, at the end of the month, I'll see, oh, how much did I make this month on YouTube? Oh, cool. But I don't get it till the next month, right? You get paid the next month on it. So the best month ever for YouTubers, generally speaking, more than probably generally speaking, to be honest, is December. Christmas season, the spending season. But not only that, because again, advertisers put their toys and their stuff in your face and whatever's going on, right? Sale, car sale, and this, right? The companies blow their wad of cash. What's left in the budget, it's the end of the year, blow it all, because if we don't, it'll get put back in the corporate, whatever. Let's blow it. Run the ads, baby. So they're willing to pay more for the advertisements. They're putting more advertisements on YouTube. And those of us who do YouTube videos are loving life during, pretty much, and only during December. It is a huge bonus, but then again, we don't get it till January. That's okay. I just wanted to mention that. This is kind of one of those tech tips. Oh, yeah, I didn't know that, Joe. That's kind of cool. That's interesting. Yeah, just to let you know. So I'll be making sure in December, old Snippy don't miss a day or two of videos. Because, it only comes once a year. I'd like to capitalize on the ad revenue. Not to say, by the way, not to say that I'm going to shove extra ads in your face. That will not be happening. I promise you that much. I just wanted to just kind of key you in on how this stuff goes. It's really cool, and it's exciting for us, people who do videos, to see it coming and, oh, wow, I did my best day ever, or I did, whatever. It's really neat. It's really cool. And I'm just glad to say that I'm not back in the months and months ago when the whole ad apocalypse hit YouTube and the advertisers pulled out. Oh, my gosh. I had some days that were like, oh my God, that's going to hurt, But that's why I have my day job. That's why I've determined no matter how successful this YouTube channel ever becomes in 1, 2, 3 more years from now, I'm maybe a 200,000 subscribers, which is insane for me to think about even if it was to grow that high. What's the revenue going to be then? That'd be pretty neat. I could quit my day job by then, I don't want to quit my day job. I like my day job. It's laid back and it's a second paycheck. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of cool how all this kind of, worked together or just came about, I should say. And you probably didn't know that about December. And I didn't really notice it because I wasn't hardly making all that much money to really pay attention to back, 2 years ago plus. But again, each year I'm getting new subscribers, more subscribers, and it's just a math game. The more people who watch a video and an ad plays, it's just numbers, right? It's just a numbers game. So I essentially, and other YouTubers who have a increasing subscriber base, thankfully I do, mine's not going down, which that's always a good thing. It's essentially giving yourself a raise every month or two, a slight little teensy tiny, tiny little raise. And then at the end of the year, next year, what do I do? And then it goes up again. It's just really neat to see this. It's wonderful because, again, it's just numbers. At your normal day job, you can't do that. Hey, boss, I've been here for 10 years. I'm still getting a little 1-2% raise. And some years we didn't get any raise. I've been doing a real good job. You're really happy with me, aren't you? Yes, we are, man. You're great. Can I get a little bump? It's not in the budget. Sorry, buddy. But and I understand that too. You're a company, you got a company, one can't give everybody raises and then close down. So it's just a beautiful thing. I'm glad it turned out the way this did. And that's that. So just a little bonus before I get started. Anyways, us debt slaves. And just because I got 2 jobs, so to speak, doesn't mean I'm not a debt slave. We're all freaking debt slaves. We've all been one and probably always will be until they change the way this damn system, fractional reserve lending and keeping, got to stimulate the economy. How do you stimulate? Just get in more debt. Oh, okay. Well, that doesn't sound good, but all right. Anyways, but over the next 2 months, they'll try to prop up U.S. retailers and the entire global economy. Credit cards play a huge role in what the U.S. retail industry hopes will be a $682 billion splurge by Americans over the holiday selling season. Already total revolving consumer credit outstanding, mostly credit cards, has reached $1 trillion. Even Dr. Evil can't do that one. $1 trillion. That's just too much for even Dr. Evil. Has reached $1 trillion bucks, up 5.5 or 5.4. I got to be real, 5.4% from a year ago, and will surge over the next 2 months, of course, as consumers, and that is U.S. consumers, try to prop up the global economy by going deeper into debt. Not that we're trying to. What he means by that is it's Christmas, and all parents, tell me if you've thought this, because I know me and my wife have had the same thought. And we know some people who had been on hard times many times in their life. And they, when I was young, my Christmases sucked. I didn't hardly get anything. And now I've got kids. I'm just determined to give them the best Christmas. And, I've heard that a lot. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you though, Snippy and wife don't have the mindset. I'm going to give our kids the best Christmas they ever. We're not spoiling anybody. Yeah, we'll get them stuff. But, you got to be reasonable. Even with your kids, because then they expect it, and then they grow up to expect it, and then they want to do it to their kids. It's not a good cycle. But at the same time, someone who's never hardly had anything, I'm just referring to probably some of you can relate. And then now you've got a job that's good, and okay, I can start affording things I can quote unquote consume. I want to give my kids a good Christmas. They deserve it, and I love them, and right. So that's where this is. But I don't exactly have the cash, so I'm going to put it on a credit card. And I'll pay that sucker off over the next year, right? So that's the mindset, get back into debt. So the consumer finance industry is offering its services via store-branded credit cards to make this happen. It's not doing this for the love of the U.S. economy, but to extract its pound of flesh from the consumers who don't make enough money to pay off their credit card balances each and every month. I'm going to throw a Jerky Boys line out there for those Jerky Boy fans. It's not doing this for the love of the U.S. economy, but to extract its pound of flesh. Tell me if you remember this one. Oh, yeah, I got trains to sell. I got a tunnel. Well, what kind of tunnel? What's it made of? The tunnel, it's made of flesh. That's for my Jerky Boys fans out there. The very debt slaves that carry the $1 trillion on their backs and who don't read the fine print. For them, the finance industry has a special money extraction tool. It's called deferred interest. When consumers are at the cashier or even online, they may get offers of 0 to percent basically financing and a discount on the first purchase if they sign up for a store-branded credit card on the spot. I remember my mom years ago worked at, I don't even remember which one it was. It could have been Sears, JCPenney. I think it might have been JCPenney. And maybe in the perfume department or something. I don't remember. Years ago. And she would always tell me how if one, listen to me. And some of you probably say, Joe, hey, he's right. I do that now, right? You're probably going to relate. Some of you that are in this thing. God help you. If even one customer comes to your register and you don't offer that damn store credit card, God help you. That was what my mom said. Anyways, a study by Wallet Hub of the financing options offered online by 75 large U.S. retailers found that all retailers that offer store-branded cards with 0% financing use deferred interest clauses. Deferred interest financing is like a wolf in sheep's clothing, pairing an enticing offer, something like no interest if paid in full, or special financing, with a clause that allows the deal to turn really ugly if you make the slightest mistake. Paying your bill a day late or owing even $1 when the promotional period ends would enable the issuer to retroactively apply finance charges to your entire original purchase amount as if the introductory rate never existed. And they are counting on some of us to do that, to get their pound of flesh, because they know we're going to offer this. Some people will follow it to the T and they'll get the special deal, but there's going to be plenty of people who don't or can't. Something came up. Oh, okay. Oh, well, I'm sorry, but now you're going to get F'd in the A by our interest rate. Thanks. Because you're paying for numerous other people's 0% interest rate that did in fact pay it off on time. Thanks. Thanks. These deferred interest clauses are commonly found in the fine print of retailer payment plans, it says. They're easily overlooked in the heat of the checkout battle, but they specify that high interest rates up to 29.99% among the credit cards studied may be applied retroactively to the full purchase amount back to the purchase date. If one of these two common things happens, the consumer misses a monthly payment or consumer doesn't repay the full balance within the 0% introductory period. When Wallet Hub surveyed consumers, 53% said the biggest draw of the store-branded credit card was, 0% financing. But of those consumers who understood how deferred interest works, 61% said it's unfair, 50% said it should be illegal, and 67% said they wouldn't sign up for such a plan, which is good. But that leaves a whole lot of other people who will sign up, do sign up, and get screwed. Wallet Hub found that 88% of all deferred interest credit cards in its study were issued by just 3 banks. Synchrony Bank, which GE spun off in 2015, Comenity and Comenity Capital Bank, and one of the too big to fails, Citibank. The regular interest rate that is applied retroactively on the original purchase amount ranges from a low 8% APR to a high of 29.99 at Zales, among others, with the most common range between 15 to 25%, as far as interest rates. Even the low end, 8%, of this absurd scale is relatively, or is already high in this low interest environment rate, or low rate environment. But charging nearly 30% APR when banks pay depositors between 0 and 1.25%, and applying this sky-high rate retroactively under certain conditions to purchases made with 0% financing shows the extent of the broader interest rate ripoff. The disclosures on deferred interest, including when and under what conditions the regular APR kicks in retroactively back to the purchase date, are often hard to find, so Wallet Hub came up with a transparency score ranging from 0 to 10. Generally, these two key pieces of information are present somewhere on the retailer's websites or online disclosures. However, in many cases, the information was difficult to locate and understand. Yada, yada, yada. In Wallet Hub's transparency score, a number of retailers scored a 10, including Apple, Kay Jewelers, Home Depot, and Dell. Others were scattered across the spectrum. Pottery Barn and West Elm scored a 0. They were the least transparent retailers regarding the use of deferred interest for the second consecutive year. So even Apple deferred, got nailed. But my damn phone's $900. Yeah. Now it's going to cost you 3 times that by the time you're done paying us back, sucker. People who cannot pay off their credit card balances on a monthly basis generally have little or no savings anyways, no margin of error, and are borrowing to make ends meet. They're the ones carrying the $1 trillion in credit card balances on their backs, and they're very vulnerable. Delinquency rates on credit cards are already ticking up. In October, Citibank disclosed that it boosted reserves for consumer loan losses by the most in over 4 years. Its credit card delinquency rate with North American branded cards rose to 2.84% and is expected to rise further, CFO John Gersbach told reporters. He particularly fingered, store-branded credit cards. When these consumers fall behind, the lending relationship has a higher propensity to deteriorate so quickly that Citigroup has to write off their debts, he said. So happy holiday shopping season, and a nod of appreciation to our debt slaves that will do their best to prop up the U.S. retail sector and the entire global economy over the next 2 months, and to the lenders that make this miracle possible. But Sears risks running out of money just before the holiday selling season. Read, Sears Holdings exhausts its last credit facility. If you want to, go ahead and click the link. And as usual, like I always tell my peoples, I'll be linking all these videos as I always do if you want to check them out. These are great. These are some of my favorite sites to visit every day. I go to Godlike Productions, although I don't usually read any articles from there because it's usually people just commenting on the forum and linking to some interesting thing. But I do check Zero Hedge a lot throughout the day. WolfStreet.com and the Economic Collapse blog.com, Michael Snyder's site. Those are kind of my 3 favorites, I would say. I do check out other words. What's the other one? Activist Post. I thought I lost it. Activist Post. Yep. Activist Posts. They've got some good stuff there also. Speaking of a little headline, I'll just read you real quick from Activist Post. State threatens to kidnap little girl because parents cure her seizures with CBD oil in a legal state. They're curing her seizures with CBD. That's not right. Essentially marijuana extract stuff, isn't it? In doing so in a state in which it is legal. I'm assuming Colorado, if I had to guess. And hell, do I need to do a 4th video? This is very interesting. I need to cover this. Stand by. Next video.